All right, different setup. It looks a bit like I have a gamer setup or something. A game, yeah, like I'm a gamer. Looks dramatic. I'm late. I realized last episode I forgot to mention that the episode before that, the one that got 1,000 views, yeah, I released it late, which I guess was to my advantage somehow. But so that was I released it, or I put it on YouTube before doing my 7 weeks of isolation. And naturally, I released it at the last moment. And as it was loading, I put my laptop away. And a week later, I opened the laptop and it hadn't uploaded. I thought it would upload in the week and that I had done everything right, but I hadn't. So that's why I was late. This one is late because I'm a dumbass. Well, the other one too. But this one, yeah, me being unprofessional. Because I'm supposed to release, it's supposed to be at the end of the week that I make these reflecting on the past week, but I'm making one for the previous week, and today is Wednesday. So today was the first day I got back to work. Oh, the dread of the 9 to 5. The return fucking sucks. Like, I talked about this recently with my mother, I think, or someone. This idea that's propagated in movies and things like that. Even I watched Beef recently, and people talk about it all the time. Wouldn't it be great to not have to work at all? Like, you think of movies like heist movies, like Ocean's 11, things of that nature, and they work so hard, and the goal is to go away on an island, on a beach somewhere, and not have to work anymore. And that's nonsense. That's so stupid. That's so crazy. The point of life is not to not have to work. Like, that's horrible and it's boring. You don't want to do that. You know, it's to do work you like. But if you're someone who's, working on things, who's got passion and projects, then when you find yourself in holidays, these were some of the best holidays of my life. Because I didn't go, on holidays. I didn't go away to a beach somewhere or to a place with a pool to bask in the sun and sunbathe and do nothing. I did things. Well, I wasn't as productive as I would have liked to be, but I was still productive, more so than if I had gone away. And so yeah, this idea it just annoys me, especially since movies and popular culture glorifies this idea of you work really hard and then you don't have to work anymore. But I suppose it's this thing that someone who's very popular likes to say, someone needs to flip burgers. It's weird how some people, the way they approach life is they're trying to get themselves in a position where they don't really have to live anymore. Like, they sacrifice their life to put themselves in a place where they don't even have to live anymore. They think of the future as this other life and the present as this sacrifice. And to a degree, that is the way to go forward, but you have to think it in terms of always, throughout your whole life, you're sacrificing for the future. You have to live in the present, it's important, but you're always sacrificing for the future. And at least that's how I want to live my life, to be working every day towards goals in the future, not to be working so that I can do nothing, because that's just insanely boring. I don't have any notes. The laptop is here as a prop. Also, it's lighting me because I did this too late, so I'm not getting the glorious summer sun to light the shot. A few days ago, for the first time, I had the brilliant idea of placing my thing, what's it called? Bonnet, silk bonnet or something? Thing you put on, what I used to put on my head in the early episodes. Could have been like my thing, I'm the guy with the pink hat. But yeah, I put it on. I guess the light is tungsten, so it's orange, has an orange glow, and it mixes with the pink, and it creates this beautiful red light. So yeah, it looks a bit. I don't know if I like it, but it looks dramatic. It looks a bit strange, but that's why I need the laptop to light me from the front, so that I can look even more white than my skin already is. There's no notes. I'm looking at an outline for a children's book I'm making. I've had this idea. I'm gonna steal existing children's book and make them so that they're not children's books anymore. So it's gonna be about, yeah, fuck it, I'll explain it. If you might know the original, it's gonna be about an angel, right, who falls on Earth. Now it's a children's book, so the illustrations will be very minimalistic, very simple, very cute. So you have this cute little. He's so cute actually. He's got a double chin. I have the illustration somewhere. This cute little angel with a little fro and a double chin. He falls on the earth. He falls from heaven. So he looks around. He's in a forest, I think. Yeah, he's in a forest. Right? It's a children's book. You got a cute little angel, and then you're gonna have animals. He talks to animals, right? It's a children's book. He falls in a forest, and a fox witnesses him as he falls. Foxes are wise animals, right? So he falls, and the fox asks him, "Oh, are you okay? What's happening?" And the angel is like, "Oh, I don't know what I'm doing here. I want to get home, to heaven." I think it's a clever little twist on the original. I don't know who the target audience is. It's no one. You can't buy this for your kids with the ending that I've got. But I think it's funny. I have a twisted sense of humor. I'm thinking about it. Most people won't find it funny. They'll just find it mean-spirited, and ugly. And even people who do find it funny, like, they wouldn't buy it because it looks like a children's book. So, little angel falls on earth and he encounters a fox. The fox is like, "Okay, I'll help you. I know an animal who's wise, and he might know how to get you home." And he goes to, I think, a camel first. Yeah, he goes to a camel. So they go to a camel. So you imagine visually, it starts in heaven, all white and some blue sky. Then they fall. Then the angel falls on the earth in a forest. It's going to be green. He meets this orange fox. The fox is like, "Let's go talk to a camel." So they go to the desert. Right, now it's all orange. They encounter the camel. The camel is no help, so they decide, "Oh, I know who can help you." And they go to a whale, because whales are wise too. They go to the whale. So now it's blue, it's in the sea. They encounter the whale, and the whale is like, I don't know. I'm not sure, but I know who can help you. Right? A polar bear. I guess polar bears are wise based on my research. And now it's all white. He goes to the polar bear. The polar bear says, "Oh, I can't get you back to heaven, but I know someone who might be able to do so." To be honest, I think it's more clever than the original, right? Because I like this quote. Smart ass, trying to be a smart ass. If I want someone to tell me, "Oh, you're trying to be a smart ass one day," it's a line I've written for a film, but I'll use it if I get the opportunity. Because what do you want me to do? Be a dumbass, right? It's better to be a smart ass than a dumbass. And I'm a smart ass sometimes, more often a dumbass actually. So the polar bear takes them. You have the whole crew now. You have the whale, the camel, the fox, and the polar bear, leading the angel to salvation. And now we go into the grey world of humans, a city, right? Because humans are wiser than all these animals. We're so smart. We know everything. And so the little clique shows up to the city with the angel, and they ask a man, "Hey man, do you know how this little angel can get back to heaven?" And then the man shoots him. And that's how he gets back to heaven. I've seen lots of these memes online when you let your intrusive thoughts out, right? Of people doing that. I guess that's what I'm doing here. It's just a dumb idea, but I like this idea of having a dumb idea, but a simple one, and just going through with it, making it. I have dumb ideas like this all the time. Ideas that have no target audience, that are not even that funny, and won't really make people laugh. Doesn't really make me laugh either, right? I just told it I didn't laugh. But the idea of actually making it is what's funny to me. The idea of actually, because because I'm capable of making it. I can make something that looks, it sounds very pretentious, but I can make a children's book that will look like a children's book, and that will look, like a professionally made children's book with, nice illustrations, nice cute illustrations. I'm doing my best to make the most cute little animals and the cutest little, landscapes and the cutest little angel. And then there's this twist at the end. I feel like a madman explaining this, but I need to make more of these. I just need to make stuff, right? So I figured I'll just make this dumb idea I've got. I would love to get that book made. I made a graphic novel at college, 2016, a while ago. It's pure garbage on every level, especially the story, but even the illustrations are not very good. So I don't care about that. I made another kind of attempt at a children's book a few years later, which I would like to print. But the idea of printing, having my work printed, I guess I have my posters. That's the only time I've done it. But being able to touch your work physically is so gratifying. It's amazing. And so a poster is like, it's at the low end, or a photo that you take and you print. But the idea of a book, I want to make photo books eventually, but that's more difficult. A book, that would be amazing. So I can't wait to finish doing this thing, illustrating it, having fun, and then printing it and holding it. And then that's it, really. Don't know what happens next. Because as I said, it's not a commercial idea. Well, I was just randomly looking at this. I didn't talk about the graphic novel. No, the novel I want to write. I mentioned it, Phantom Thread. I didn't talk about the story. I have nothing to talk about. So, I guess I do. The 7 weeks of silence, right, the isolation thing, was very beneficial, very fulfilling. I learned things, it was good. And then a week later, I'm back in the real world. And what's the word? When you go too far one way, you go too far back the other way. Compensated. I spent too much time on my phone, my laptop. I wasted a lot of time. It's so difficult to find balance. It's so difficult. I'm more of an extremist. I am able to pick a side and just go all out on that side. If I'm on the fence, it's hard. So it seems like the only option for me is to just cut this shit out completely, which I could. I don't really get any gratification from social media or things of that nature. So I could do that. Maybe I should. Maybe I will. I've deleted Instagram so many times. I saw a video recently, today, of Sneeko talking about, it's like a short video talking about a statement with which we've all heard many times, that many people have said, that the competition out there today is so low, so weak. The competition is so weak that it's easy to make it. This idea that because of social media, of TikTok, Instagram, because of all the distraction, driven people are harder to come by. I don't think there's any truth to that. Based on social media, on Instagram, well, everyone is able to share what they're doing. And one of the crushing aspects of that platform is being able to see people's success. But it's not even a case of the classic thing of seeing, hot models and people just posing their best life. But even artists, there are countless extremely skilled and talented artists in the world. And now we all know that because of Instagram. And I think that's, an easy counter to this idea that it's easy nowadays. No, 20 years ago, you didn't know that within a kilometer of where you live, there's at least 10 people who are extremely talented, who have, tens of thousands of followers on Instagram, who are, who have a fan base, who are really good at what they do in their specific field. Because that's the reality of the world today. We have so many tools that, although there are people who get distracted and who never make anything, like this guy, there are so many people who don't and who are very successful. And also part of that idea in that video by Sneeko is if you just focus for a little while, you drop the bullshit, you drop the distractions, it's easy to make it. And that's what I want to do. Just make it. I want to make it. That's what I want to do. So the past week, compensated, went right back to my bad habits. Some of them, not all of them. I've told myself I would quit this by the end of August, which would make exactly 3 months since I actually, really started being addicted. And it's so much harder than I thought. It's difficult. I am actually addicted. I thought for a while, nah, it's all good. But I am actually addicted, which is annoying. I don't like the idea of being addicted. It's a form of weakness. But I am addicted. I need to work on that shit and get rid of it. Which I will, but no forcing. No. Taking my time. So I'm trying to think. 1 week of seclusion, very beneficial. Reading a lot. Last week I didn't read nearly as much. I barely read. Not much working out. Few days that I haven't drawn anything, written anything. I'm working on a music video that I have to edit. Took 21 different angles. It's going to be a beast to edit. It's going to take a while, but that should be done quite soon. Don't know if I mentioned there's another video where I plan on using a green screen to integrate the artist into existing movie frames. It's crazy what you can do with AI, just the Photoshop AI on the beta. Really powerful. Also, I got a comment on a video recently from someone who had watched like all the videos and who said that I improved, which meant a lot. It means a lot. Right now I feel like I'm in this current episode, I'm not really doing too well. Having notes helped. Thinking about it, planning, knowing what you're going to talk about helps a lot. I didn't do this time. I shot this video too late. I was procrastinating. And here I am struggling like a motherfucker. Let's see. What's this? That's the short novel. Useless. That's the novel. Podcast. Oh wait, I have random podcast notes. I can just go to a random note. Democracy is BS. There you go. I remember having this argument at college with my teacher. I don't know why, but we were talking about democracy. I'm not someone who follows politics or at all, really, or knows. But I think, as far as I know, democracy is this idea that the government or society is run by the people. I think. You know what? I'm going to do the same thing as with my project for the children's book. Doesn't matter how wrong it is. I'm just going to go in with what I know. So I think that's the idea behind democracy, is that people choose, elect who's going to be occupy, certain positions in the government. They elect the president, etc. And it's good, right? Democracy is good. People are in control. There were times where we had tyrannies, all sorts of governments that were tyrannical and that oppressed people and that people didn't really feel good about. So democracy is the answer. We're good. We live in a democracy. It's cool. Now, when I think about it, being someone who doesn't follow politics, who doesn't know that much about history, but the logic of democracy, to me, it's stupid. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense because the idea is that people are in control of society. The majority is in charge of society. I love this phrase. The majority is always wrong. It's a kind of provocative, contrarian, idea to be annoying sometimes. But I don't want to be in a society that is run by the majority. If I want someone to repair my sink, I'm going to get a plumber, right? Who's a professional, who's studied this and knows what they're doing. Why would I want the average Joe, the majority, the average person, to decide who's gonna be in charge of my country? It's like there are people who are, politicians and who understand how to run a country, who understand all these things, and they should be in charge. I don't know how to explain it, but this idea that, to me, it doesn't make sense. Basically, this idea of democracy. I'm trying to link it to the plumber thing. But you have one plumber. I don't know but you have two plumbers. I haven't thought about it yet before, but let me try to make this analogy. You have two plumbers, right? They're professional plumbers. They know how to plumb. They know how to repair your sink. How? It doesn't work. It doesn't work. So I'll just go straight. I'll try to go to the point, the essence of my arguments, which is that people who know how to run a country should run a country, and that society, the majority, people like you and me, who might know a little bit more, a little bit less about politics in general, but who definitely don't know about the ins and outs and what's actually happening and, all the logistics of it, they should just shut the fuck up. That's my opinion. And so we had this, I haven't fleshed out my opinion very well, but the argument I had with my teacher, Helen, who disappeared after I left college, a year or two after, strangely. Helen, the argument I had with her was with voting, this idea of voting, right, which kind of is the cornerstone maybe of democracy, right, the majority wins, voting. And I talked about, I talked about faking results. And I said, let's do a poll in the class. Is whatever the poll was, you as the person of authority, you take all the votes in, you count them, and you give us the answer. Right, that's what I said. We don't know. We're just individuals. We don't know the results. Only you can know. Only you have all the answers in your hand, and only you can reveal the answer, the truth. And I said, if you think the answer that we came up with is wrong, what's to stop you from saying, well, you guys all agreed that it's the other answer, the one you want to, your own agenda. If you want to push your own agenda, what's to stop you from doing that? That was my argument. Oh my God, I'm coming off so ignorant because I have no idea how it works. But my point was that if I were part of the people who run the world, you can go into conspiracy theories, the Illuminati, blah, 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 all these secret societies, or just very wealthy people. If I were, a person with a lot of power, I would want to make sure that as a person who's powerful and intelligent and who has resources, I would want to make sure that I, along with my friends, the top echelon of human society, we run the world. I would make sure of that. And that the people below think that they run the world, right? Tyranny doesn't work. You have to make people feel like they're in control. But that was my point that I very badly illustrated, that if she, as our teacher, feels like we made the wrong decision, she almost has a responsibility to say, hey, you're just a bunch of dumb 20-year-olds, not even 20, like a bunch of teenagers, really. You're just a bunch of teenagers. I'm an adult. You voted. I think you voted wrong, but I want to control the agenda because I know what's best. So I'm going to say that this was the answer that you gave. So I guess this is me saying that I embrace the idea that secret societies and people with extreme power run the world in the shadows. I embrace that. I think it makes sense. I think it makes more sense than the idea that Joe Schmo does, than the idea that people do. I think that all these ideas of conspiracy theories and all these things, how do I say this? In a way, I guess I believe it's good. I believe that people with a lot of power, people with resources, people who've ascended to the highest echelons of human society. They should run the world. I think that they do run the world, and I think that it makes total sense that they should make us feel like we do. I don't know how I got into this. Oh, democracy is bullshit. People don't rule, they're stupid. People in charge are smart. There you go. Also, talking about conspiracy theories. I've met a lot of people who are just against conspiracy theories, this idea. And I think, how do I say this? I think it makes sense to not want to investigate because you can only go so far. We don't have resources. Most people don't have resources, and it would take a lot of time and energy to actually investigate properly. So I understand this idea of, I don't want to talk about it because we'll never know the answer. But the idea of conspiracy theories, like, oh, you're questioning the world. You're crazy. Oh, you think it's like this. You're crazy. I refuse to talk about conspiracies. Like, just the word conspiracy, right? If you believe that, the news the news is a vehicle to shape our minds and make us believe lies for an agenda, you're crazy, right? Those people scare me, the sheep. And like, if you think of the top conspiracy theories, they're not conspiracy theories. Like, the earth is flat. Okay, that's weird, right? I don't know why you even went in this direction. What's the point? But I'm not going to point out specifics, but a lot of them, well, things that were called conspiracy theories turned out to be true. And a lot of them, the answers are out there. And so the idea that we live in a world where people willingly, I mean, it does make sense, this idea of the Matrix. People willingly live in this lie and accept it, and don't even want to question it. They don't even want to spend the energy trying to question it. It makes sense, but it's a bit scary. I 100% believe that, well, it's not even a controversial thing to say that, the news is printing lies to shape our minds and, keep us looking in a certain direction, for a bigger agenda. My God, this episode is going to get me sent to Rumble. Well, no, because... Oh, I forgot to say. 100 followers? No, subscribers. Woo! I got a... Hey. Was that a sign? Was that a sign I should shut the fuck up? 100 subscribers. I got like a notification from YouTube. You got 100 subscribers. This thing is growing. That's good. Chris D'Elia always talks about his thing being a cult. He has this, Chris D'Elia is Chris D'Elia. He has his expressions. He makes them into merch. He's really good at this. He's this character. This is not a cult because I don't have any ideas to push on you. I don't know what I'm talking about. Every episode is basically me asking a bunch of questions. How am I going to make this thing work? Right? You have to think of, well, if you want to achieve something, you have to think of a goal. You have to think of steps to get there. I guess once again, this thing here is just me practicing. I should just appreciate for a moment that I have come far. Almost 3 years ago, we had to... Now, I guess I'm always thinking about it. I'm always thinking about acting. I'm not acting here, so it's not the same thing. Just talking to a camera. But man, when I started, it was so hard. It was so difficult. It's crazy how just sticking to something, being consistent. I need to be consistent with having a fucking outline for the episode and ideas. Wait, there's a bunch of notes here. I don't want to talk about that. Next time. Nah. Yeah. If a tree falls in the forest and no one is around to hear it, does it make a sound? Wow, this must be torture to watch. well, obviously people only watch a small portion. Oh yeah, I remember another thing. I look at my analytics, and I looked at the videos that I was recommended from. You know, people watch a video and I'm in the recommended. And I looked at it recently after I got 1,000 views, the videos that led people to me. And of course I can't find it. Took a screenshot because I'm so organized. Found it. Alright, the first one, audiobooks and subtitles. The second one, first time doing acid. I'm being associated with that video. How am I? You know what? People always associate drugs with me for some reason, especially weed. Like, when I say I don't smoke weed, it always comes out, it's always perceived as a joke. Always. Probably no one, it's weird to think about the fact that probably everyone who, you know, I'm an acquaintance to, you know, who's not my friend, who doesn't really know me, perhaps even my friends, the few I have, think that I smoke weed. I guess for this thing here, I'm putting more energy into how I speak. I'm not talking that loud normally in a conversation. I'm speaking quite loud. But if you look at the earlier episodes, or if you or just me talking in real life, I do sound, you know, I'm quite laid back in how I speak. And I sound, well, I guess we're talking about acid here. I've never done acid. I will one day, but first time doing acid is, you know, the second video that recommends me the most. Third one is the Count of Monte Cristo something, which I suppose it's partly related to Tristan Tate. He talks about it a lot, and that's why the Count of Monte Cristo is popular, maybe. OSHO, The Joy of Silence. I don't know. ASMR Heart Ice, whatever. I don't know. So, yeah. Also, 100% of my audience is male. Whatever that says. And then at some point, 100% were 18 to 24. But now more people are 25 to 34. Older. Even goes up to 35 to 44. Old folks. Old folks. I can't say it. Old folks. Old folks. I'm gonna choke. But yeah, usually it's 18 to 24. Military-aged males. I thought about calling this episode Military-aged males and actually writing a fucking outline, but I didn't. Military-aged males. That's my audience. Military-aged males. That's why they want to shut me down. I'm a problem. The things I say. Andrew Tate talks about how he had this huge plan laid out, you know, to conquer the internet with his team. Yeah, this huge plan and everything. Being controversial must have been somewhere at the top of his list. I'm joking, you know, somewhat. But if I started, well, I suppose the point I made earlier, as badly formatted as it was, might be considered controversial. But I need to condense it so that it can be clipped, and then people will put me on TikTok, and then I'll become the new sensation, the guy who says controversial, who can't even speak, controversial shit. I need actually, talking about planning, I should break down the outline for each episode, right, with a type of topic, and there should be a section for controversial. You know what? I'm gonna do that. I'll take a note. Need a controversial section. Because me and my team, section. Me and my team were formulating a plan, and I think controversy has to be somewhere towards the top of the list. And everything else I've been doing for the past 23 weeks needs to go out. I need to have like a soundbite, right? That's how it works. You need to have sound bites But every time I talk about anything, it's just I meander for so long. I need to be more concise. Sound bites, controversial section. Let me soundbite my earlier points, though I don't think I could. Democracy is stupid. Wait, I need to sound like I mean it. Conviction is also very important. Conviction, I need to sound like I mean it. It's funny, right? Because it's funny, this idea of clipping things, right? Like cutting a portion, even like cutting parts of that portion, cutting into that portion, maybe to even completely change the message. But like this idea, it's a bit like, when I thought about it now, it makes me think of how, when you're not on air, right? The moment before you're on air where you're just chilling, maybe, all right, 3, 2, 1, hello. Well, if you're on air as a YouTuber, it's like, all right, 3, 2, 1, hi guys. So tonight we're going to be doing blah, 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 blah. Right? Or if you're a news anchor, I guess it's more like you're like on your desk. And then, so tonight, 3, 2, 1, you're already looking at the camera. It's not as much acting, I guess. 3, 2, 1. So tonight, in tonight's news, I don't know, I don't watch the news. I don't know what to say. But yeah, it made me think of that, the idea of clipping. Because like right now, I'm making maybe an hour video, right? But I can literally just, I need to think of a soundbite right now. I need to think of a soundbite. And then, boom, I throw that soundbite out. And then people cut it out, or I cut it out. I throw it on Twitter, on TikTok or whatever. And then people will just see that section. They'll think, whoa, look at this guy with conviction shouting this beautiful soundbite that makes me angry. I'm gonna help him become more popular by, telling people how much I dislike him. All right, soundbite. So it was democracy. Well, before we do the soundbite, let's plan the soundbite. So we talked about democracy. Democracy is stupid, right? That's a good starting sentence to hook the viewer. Democracy is stupid because I'll look at the definition of democracy first, just so I don't look too much like a dumbass. Democracy, a system of government by the whole population or all the eligible members of a state, typically through elected representatives. I didn't get any of that. I think I'm going to stick to what I thought democracy was. So, democracy is stupid. I have to actually almost shout it. Democracy, sorry, I need to look into the camera. Democracy is stupid because people are stupid. Do you want a world run by the average, by the majority? No, by the average consumer, right? Average consumer is a what's the word? A buzzword of sorts. Wait, democracy is stupid because most people are stupid. Do you want society to be run by the average consumer? No, neither do I. Too many words. Actually, I don't even really have to make a point, do I? If it's a soundbite, I don't even really have to. No, I just have to be controversial and annoying. Right. Democracy is stupid because most people are stupid. Do you want society to be run by the average Joe? Is that sexist? The average Joe? Women can be called Joe. That can be that's androgynous name. I don't know. Fuck it. I'm trying to be controversial. I'm gonna be sexist. Do you want the world to be run by the average Joe? Women can't drive. Sorry. So, all right. This is acting, right? I'm gonna act. So that's more difficult. Let me prepare myself mentally. There's this guy called, what's his name? Dax Flame. I remember he was he's such an interesting character. Making these videos when he was younger, and he was always acting. And people thought, I don't remember exactly, but people weren't sure if he was acting, if he was a character or not. Wouldn't it be hilarious if when I put the camera on, I start acting, and actually I'm extremely different in real life. Maybe that's not even my actual accent. Maybe I don't sound like I don't know how to speak English and I'm a foreigner. Maybe my actual voice, maybe this is an act. Like when I turn the camera off, I speak differently and I'm completely different. Wouldn't that be so interesting? I've been thinking about doing an episode where I try to act like I'm a different person. Just stand up straight. That'll be okay. Democracy is stupid because most people are stupid. Do you want society to be run by the average Joe? That's 3 cents. That's all right. All right. Actually, I just took the breath in before doing my acting, right? And every time I start the podcast, I do the breath in as well. So maybe that's a sign, a clue that actually I'm always acting, because before I act, I do this, right? The plot thickens. Democracy. I can do this. I got this. Democracy is stupid because most people are stupid. Do you want society to be run by the average Joe? Right. That could be the title of the That's too long. Right. Democracy is stupid because most people are stupid. Do you want society to be run by the average Joe? Alright, clip that. I'm saying clip that. I've been watching, alright, I have to admit it, I've been watching a lot of Sneako recently, and he does these long streams. It's so weird. It's so interesting to see how language and human behavior changes with time, I guess, which is such a dumb thing to say. It's like when Joe Rogan says, "Isn't science amazing?" Because it's, it is, but saying it sounds so stupid. So, and saying it in the way he says it. But anyways, they were making these really long streams, and it's like there's the chat, scrolling down, and he's like reacting to the chat, to what people say. Then he's like, and then something will happen in the video, in the stream, and he'll say, "Okay, chat, clip it." And it's interesting how he's interacting with the chat, and how they can be. That's part of the Tate thing, right? That other people used his content and spread it, and they could benefit from it. But they could benefit from it, right? He was like a cash cow, and people just used his content and spread it, and that benefited him a lot. But these people also created accounts based on that and made money from him. So that's interesting, this idea of the fan base not being exploited, right? Because it's a kind of mutual exploitation. But anyways, he's like, the chat is scrolling down, and he's reacting to the comments, and he'll say, "Okay, chat, clip it when something happens," or just WL, asking the chats basically to give their feedback on whether something was good or bad. WL, he'll ask, if you worked out today, all ones, and it's also interesting how insistent he is. It's so weird. It's so weird. It's a bit off-putting. I don't even know how to say it, but yeah, this culture. I mean, I don't know if I want to go more into that. But yeah, I watched these videos, and the way he's behaving is so interesting. And I suppose I need to learn from that. Okay, clip it. But you have to say clip it when something interesting happens. But it's just me talking into my mirror with a camera behind the mirror, in front of the mirror. My God. Okay, controversy. I need to make sure I have a good controversial thing for next episode. And what's the word? Soundbites. I need to think soundbites. I am the counter soundbite guy. I don't speak in soundbites. I'm just meandering. I like the word meandering, right? Because it's a word that meanders. When you say meandering, it's like slice, right? When you say slice, it's such a beautiful word, slice, because you're slicing as you say it. Or the word cringe, like people who use the word cringe unironically, or actually they're the worst. People who use words ironically, or terms, or ideas. But the word cringe, right? When you say something is cringe, like you sound cringe when you say that. Cringe, it's a good word. Slice. Oscillate is one of my favorite words. No, oscillate, there's another one. No, there's another one. I thought about it recently. Where did I see it? In a book somewhere. Antithetical. I love the word antithetical, right? Because it just means opposite. Right? But when you say antithetical, you sound smarter than opposite. Everyone uses the word opposite, right? It's just average Joe language. I watch all my episodes. I might come off like I'm maybe the way I be specifically to someone who knows me. No, maybe not someone who knows, someone who doesn't quite know me. No, probably someone who doesn't know me at all. I come off weird right now because I'm like, my energies, but I feel good. It feels good. One of my excuses for drinking so much last year and a bit this year, a few months ago even, I haven't really been drinking recently, but it was this idea that when I'm drunk, right, everything is so easier. I'm more loose. I'm less introverted. I feel like I'm more myself. And so the idea, what I would keep telling myself was, I keep getting drunk, and that way I can observe myself, being this person that's more free and, a bit more careless and more open to the world. Like that way I can observe this guy. And then when I'm not drunk, I can try to emulate him, like when this guy's drunk, as soon as he hears music, he'll start dancing wherever he is. He doesn't give a shit, right? He'll dance in the street, anywhere. He'll even sing out loud, right? If this guy who's drunk does that, why? How? If he can do it, why can't I do it? So that was my excuse. I used to tell myself, oh yeah, it's, I'm trying to become that guy without the alcohol. And right now, I'm a bit that guy. Although the only drugs I'm taking is 2% nicotine. But yeah, right now, my energy is a bit energetic. The thing also about this thing here is that it's not really translating that much to real life, right? A practice for letting go of needing to sound good and a practice for letting go of control is this thing here that I'm doing. And I'm getting more comfortable, I'm not going to say good or anything, but I'm getting more comfortable being more open in this space here. But it doesn't really translate to the real world that much. Today, first day back at work, where I'm practicing as well, letting go of needing to sound good, where I'm practicing. That's why I was, careful. Sweat. That's why I think this work is important. And that's why I was getting drunk at work, because, when I'm drunk, I'm such a cool waiter. I'm talking to everyone, I'm making small talk, but I'm not as difficult, right? That's why it's important for me to stay there and to keep pushing myself outside of my comfort zone. Today, first day back, guest who's been there before. I recognize him, but I don't really remember him. I just recognize the face, but I don't remember when or what we talked about. And he's almost talking to me like I'm his friend, like I don't know. And so he opens this way, and I'm like, shit, it's the first day back. I'm like a deer in headlights. I just didn't at all, reciprocate in that instance. I didn't really interact with him. I was just lost. I didn't know what to do today. I was lost. Damn. There's something else I wanted to talk about that I thought about when I said this. I don't know. Can you hear me? All right. I think that's that. So, be ready for next week, where I'll have another controversial take. Not next week. I need to make the episode in a few days now. It's almost the end of the week. The weekend. Yes. All right. Thank you. Yes, thank you. Yes, and thank you. Gratitude. I am thankful. I am thankful. Once again, the point of this is not to amass subscribers or views, is to do it. And I am thankful that I can. I have an internet connection, a laptop. I have a really beautiful, lovely camera with a beautiful, lovely lens. And I can just do this. And that's cool. And I have a room and a bed. And I have a functioning body and vocal cords. And I should really put more time and energy into this. I should. Life is good. That sounded like that Maradona, no, not Maradona, Cantona, the French footballer, that speech, that legendary speech, that legendary speech. Maybe I should have a Cantona. Don't know how you would say it with an English accent. I should have a Cantona section where I try to make a speech like that. Because that's 100% the type of stuff I could naturally do, because I am so disheveled and discombobulated. I like that word. I am so discombobulated. I mean, I might already be making 1 hour Cantona videos at the moment, to be honest. I don't know why, I just want to chill here. It's like the first time I did a NCS, the National Citizen Service, which I guess once upon a time was actually a thing, but when I did it, it was just basically a holiday camp, and we had to go down this bridge with a rope attached to us, descendre en rappel. I don't know how you say it in English. There was the bridge, and you just go down the bridge. It was quite high, and I was so scared. I said, I'm not doing it. Fuck that. Probably took hours before I did it. I was just sitting on the side of the bridge. All the other kids were like 16, were going down the thing, even those who were scared. And then a bunch of children came, like 6 to 10, and they did it. And I was just sitting there like, I don't give a shit. I don't care about my ego or anything like that. I don't care if I look like a pussy. I'm not doing it. And then eventually I did it. Oh, it was so scary. It was so scary at first. But then I went down, I did it. And halfway through I was like, wow, this is good. This is good shit. This is amazing. I went down. I ran up back on top of the bridge and I did it again. And like that feeling when you climb, so you have this rope, you climb on top of the bridge, which, I don't know, it's just normal instinct. It's like your instinct is saying, what the fuck are you doing? Like, why would you climb over a bridge? There's no reason to do that. It doesn't make sense. It's completely unnecessary. Why? Don't do it. Like, your mind is just saying, just don't. Like, no, don't do it. Stop. It doesn't make sense. And, to varying degrees, my mind was very adamant that, stand up straight, very adamant that it made no sense. I shouldn't do it. It's scary. And then, you climb over. I climbed very slowly, like a little frightened pussy. I climbed very slowly over the thing. And then I was on the other side and I thought, all right, I'm still safe. I'm still holding on. I haven't put all my faith into this rope that everyone used. Everyone's done it before me. So why couldn't I put my faith into that rope? But yeah, I climbed over very slowly. Just climbed over very slowly, went down very slowly. And then all of a sudden it's like, okay, I'm safe. There's nothing bad's going to happen. Just go down, ran back up, did it again, almost jumped over the bridge the second time. And that feeling once you get past something that was difficult, of just being like, I own you now. You're my bitch. I used to be your bitch. I used to be your bitch, as in the fear. I used to be at your mercy, so to speak. And now I have conquered you. Now it's fine, right? And so that's where I am now, where this thing used to be, I used to be its bitch. I used to be like, all right, don't look like a dumbass, or I don't know, just anyone can see this, And now here I am, I don't give a shit. So I just want to kind of chill here. Because this thing is me in my boxers, in my bed, with a red light behind me, being lit from the front like it's a horror movie. That's what this thing is. Like, it's so revealing and intimate. It's revealing because I'm talking about what I actually believe, or things, my ideas. It's revealing, so my thought patterns, it's revealing my ideas. It's revealing because I'm almost naked in my bed. It's revealing in so many ways. And anyone could stumble on this. Anyone, people I know, could stumble on this, and I just don't care. And that feels so good. That's so liberating. Oh, I had another idea. I can't go indefinitely, but I can go almost indefinitely, right? Yeah, you agree? Hasn't even been an hour. And it doesn't matter anyways. It doesn't matter because people who watch the videos, like they'll watch, the first 2 minutes, if I'm lucky. It's interesting, actually, that it's like 90% of those things that I'm doing, right? That I'm doing, period, comma, right? Are just not being seen. So, like, right now, what I'm doing is like, what I'm doing right now, at least for the next few weeks, maybe months, it's just not being seen. So, like, right now, it's like I'm in this unspace. Oops, someone ringing the bell. Hello? Hello? Oh my. Oh, right. I was very busy. You distracted me. Where are you? Did you get lost?
No need to be so disappointed.
Come say hello. Oops.
Come say hello.
Yeah.
Abraham.
To my 100 subscribers. Alright, well,
Oh, sorry.
thank you. I'm finished.
Abraham.
Are you like a spy or detective or something?
Yeah.
Where'd you get that? In like a costume store?
Costume.
I'm gonna interview you
So
then.
bad. You couldn't wait.
Wait for what?
You're right.
I bought 3.
Oh no. You know, this morning when you left, you grabbed the thing and you said, "This is my new vape."
I didn't buy them. I bought them after work, not during work. I was using.
Still.
Actually, I was using Levi's vape at work.
Doesn't make it better.
No. Alright, I'm gonna interview you then.
Interview.
I've always wanted to do an interview on this thing. Yeah.
Abraham.
Yes, that's my name. Talon. Alright, sit right here.
But
No buts. Get your butt here.
I knew you were gonna say that.
You knew.
Yeah.
It's still on. Right. So, what is your name?
Ty.
Wait, you have to get closer. Wait.
Oh wait, no, that's not my name. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you start by lying straight away. First thing out your mouth, a lie. So, what's your name?
Skylar.
Okay, Skylar. So, what's life as a hooker? What's it like being a hooker? What?
It's brilliant.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How so? Tell me.
Well, it's brilliant because I get so much money.
Yeah, money's good.
You know?
Uh-huh.
Get so much money, sexual satisfaction.
Really? Nice.
Yeah.
So how long have you been doing this for?
Oh, you know, since I was born.
Wait, we have to look into the camera. Very important. Always look into the camera.
Into the camera.
Yeah.
They're staring at me.
No, they're not. They're staring at me. I'm the star of this channel here. They're here for me. Actually, I'll stare at myself in the mirror because I'm a narcissist. No, you look into the camera.
Abraham.
So, how long have you been doing this?
Since I was born.
Fuck. So you've got a lot of experience.
Yeah, indeed.
So tell me, what's the key to being a good hooker? Oh, I need to look at myself. So,
The key
yeah.
is it's Malta.
Okay. You're one of those philosophical hookers. Fine. I always thought about, I wanted to do...
What? Do you think all hookers are delayed?
Well, I've only ever, tried one, so... I don't know. It's based on my experience. I always thought about doing interviews, but I didn't know how because I only have one mic. There you go. I'll just bring people here to interview them. I'll just sit behind them like this. And then we both talk into the same mic. Easy.
Easy peasy.
Easy peasy. Alright. I'm gonna stop the interview now. Because...
Because